this rolling. Next up, I get to bring on Dr. Michael Silver, CEO of Pinnacle Emporium. How are you, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Patrick. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm starting to notice that I'm getting a little funky green screen issues, black spots on my face and forehead here. But yeah, it
I didn't
happens,
want to
right?
say anything.
We're all so tired of this of the virtual, right? We're gonna get back to live events really soon. But Michael, I'm gonna let you have at it, my friend, and I'll be back with, I'm sure, some Q&A for you shortly.
Great. Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate it and everything you guys do at Benzinga. Yes, so hello, I'm Dr. Michael Silver. I'm with Pinnacle Emporium. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Pinnacle, a day that is in stark contrast to the last time I presented or was participated in a Benzinga conference. In that, and I think it speaks volumes to what Benzinga has done and the platform they've provided for operators like us. We're a Michigan single state operator currently. When we first came on Benzinga, we were looking for capital, significant capital to expand our retail footprint and enter the cultivation and processing verticals. Since then, and we launched onto the scene in December of 2019 on the retail side, and ultimately now we are in the process of getting to our fifth retail facility this summer, and very, very close, within a month or two away from being with plants under lights, and also pushing forward into the processing arena. So with that, I'll go ahead and jump into the presentation and start my screen share. There we go. Great. So I assume everyone can see where we are. And I'm going to go ahead and roll right through this. So, yep, Pinnacle, we have three arms: the Emporium, which is our retail arm; Farms, which is our cultivation side; and then Refinery being our processing side. And I'll work my way through here. And basically, we took a very strategic approach and opened our retail facilities our first retail facilities along the southern border of Michigan, in a little town called Morenci, Michigan, and then over across on the west side in Buchanan, Michigan, right above South Bend. And then also our fifth shop that we will launch into this summer is in Camden, Michigan, right at the crossroads of Ohio and Indiana, as well as up in central Michigan in Edmore, and then which we just opened, and Addison, right by Jackson, Michigan, and the International Speedway there. So we've got we've spread ourselves out a little bit, but ultimately took the border play, which I think plays into a lot of different positives for Pinnacle. Number one, we find we do quite a few transactions, which when there was a significant supply shortage in the state, I think we had a distinct advantage in that we were able not only to get product because of how much we were moving, but also a lot of our customers and patients are coming in from out of state. So ultimately, you're kind of got a pseudo multi-state scenario there, where our vendors and those that we buy our products on the wholesale market from are realizing the benefit of their brands extending into states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, and so forth. So ultimately, you'll see our retail concept. We find it's very unique in the space. Not only do we offer a really vast selection of product, but we've kind of gotten away from the standard stark white sterile environment. We've created an experience, and we've kept the fun in cannabis. Our group is multifaceted, and we've got real cannabis people doing real cannabis things and giving you a showroom and a lobby experience that's, I think, rivals anybody, and that we've kind of given you a walkthrough down memory lane, so to speak, in a mini museum of sorts, with respect to what people and what customers can kind of take in while they're in the shop, aside from just the selection of product. So again, along the Michigan-Ohio border, the Pinnacle management team, multifaceted, well-rounded blend of business professionals, physicians, myself and my wife included in that category. We also have our legal counsel out of New York as well as Michigan. financial strategists out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and marketing, and of course, real cannabis people with decades of experience, creating a sum that is greater than its parts. And for instance, our co-founder and master grower is, from originally Florida and eventually California, where he grew in Sonoma County, and for a good number of years for a lot of the larger groups out there. So the opportunity in Michigan specifically, it's an emerging market. It's quickly maturing. There's approximately 30 million more visitors per year there than Colorado. There's more than 1 billion spent in tourism, and then you've also got one of the basically most medical marijuana card holders per capita in the United States. And you can see some pictures of our retail facilities as I kind of work my way through. And I'll give you some numbers on Pinnacle in general. So we were one of the first adult use licenses approved in the state. We are also, our recreational adult sales began January 15th of 2019. We had essentially one store through July of 2020, but 2020 total sales, we hit just shy of 7 million. And then our 2021 year-to-date sales as of May 31st are right at about 5.5 million. And we just opened our 4th retail facility. So we are on pace to do about a $20 million run rate here in revenue over the next 12 months. And that's just in retail alone. So we are operational and profitable. Okay. So ultimately, you can see, we've got all the licensing requirements have been handled. We've got pre-qualification. We're state licensed in all 4 facilities that we have operational. Those are both medical and adult use, as well as kind of getting ready to launch into our fifth store here in the next couple of months, over the summertime. Again, medical and adult use, and excited to get into the verticals and give ourselves, a lot more flexibility in pricing, as well as, creating larger margins, and as well as, the tax benefits we realize by doing so. So the vision for Pinnacle, we ultimately are, not a startup. We offer what I believe is an unmatched and unrecognizable retail brand, and we recently just threw the first ever legal consumption event in Michigan this past on Memorial Day weekend. And you'll see this is our Addison facility you're looking at here at the top. We happen to have a large piece of property there, and we brought in 4 musical acts headlined by a Led Zeppelin tribute band, and threw a terrific party on Saturday, May 29th. For those who hopefully some of you made it out to it. It was, we hit max capacity and had just a tremendous success, brought industry people together. So we opened it up to sponsorships with different vendors we work with on a regular basis, gave them great exposure, gave Pinnacle great exposure, and gave the people of Michigan just a terrific gathering place to unmask, get outside, and enjoy some live music and consumption while, also, like I said, bringing the industry together. We are not necessarily a startup looking for capital right now. We are an established group looking to appeal to quality operators with an eye on expanding other brands across any and all verticals through strategic partnerships. This would be both in Michigan and other states, thereby accelerating the growth of all groups and of course, expansion. So, again, in stark contrast to where we were in October of last year, coming on participating in Benzinga, today we're really more kind of looking toward that mergers and acquisitions, generally speaking, that mode, and expanding the footprint in and out of state, and assisting in growing other brands. Sort of the 1 + 1 = 3 model is ultimately kind of what I'm referring to here. Yeah, so our priority is to create an innovative and unique customer experience. That's, again, a unique offering to the market. Based on customer reviews and feedback, we feel we're kind of hitting our mark, and looking at going into the craft cultivation and culinary processing as next in our pipeline. And our company, Pinnacle, will be cultivating and producing the highest quality cannabis and cannabis byproducts and cannabis-derived CBD-rich products. And, again, just explaining who we are, and you can see pictures of, sort of some of the interiors of our facilities along the way here. You'll find we've been called a scrappy group. We're gritty. We have more of an industrial kind of vintage soul, and not afraid to show it. And we listen to our staff, we listen to our customers, we listen to our data, and continually strive to improve and offer people what they want. So from a location standpoint, this map should help. You're looking at on the left side of the screen, that's our Buchanan facility, our retail storefront there. Terrific little town. We absolutely thrilled with our participation and our corporate partnerships there. But you'll see we are in Buchanan, making our way counterclockwise, opening Camden this summer. Morenci was our first store open, and that was back in December of 2019. And we recently moved into a brand new facility there in Morenci just a couple of months ago. Addison Provisioning Center is basically, we opened that in July of 2020. And we, now with the Speedway opening back up and Devil's Lake and the tourist, kind of the summer crowd, we're finding that that's proving to be a very nice location for Pinnacle, and excited to see that really ramp up nicely. We are getting very close to closing on a deal in Lansing for our cultivation facility. We also have cultivation in Camden as well that we're getting ready to push forward on. Camden also is the home of our processing building. And we are right now in design phase and looking for the right partners so we can help push forward and make sure we upfit that facility to spec. And again, as we work our way through up in Edmore, we opened that retail shop just a few weeks back, and Coleman would be sort of last in our pipeline with retail expansion. And we are always actively seeking other locations for retail. We feel it's one of our core competencies, and it's definitely a vertical we'd like to expand upon. All right. Our management team, just a little bit about us, essentially. Myself, Dr. Michael Silver, healthcare background, also ended up in sports and gaming, and then eventually into cannabis space. Eric Watkins, 23 plus years of cultivation, 10 plus years of extraction, has been a cannabis consultant, cannabis expert. Eric Eisenegger, who's our general counsel with finance and strategy, spent quite a few years as a partner in some of the larger firms in New York City before going out on his own in private practice and linking up with us and with me several years ago, and couldn't be happier with this portion of the team. And then into my wife, Dr. Jody Silver, who heads up our culinary development as well as our product director. She would ultimately be pushing hard into the processing space with our cannabis test kitchen, and I believe innovating the not just the edibles market, but the processing market and the product market in general, not just in Michigan, but nationwide eventually. Seth Burnley, our CFO. So Seth, 20 plus years of experience in finance and compliance, investment and portfolio management. This is our core team. In addition to this, we have a security and compliance team with Lighthouse Security, and I'll kind of move through into our partners here. Lighthouse Security is a valuable part of our team. Studio 217 handles a lot of our web traffic and web development, and Aronoff Law in Royal Oak, Michigan, or Birmingham, Michigan, rather, handle our kind of business and compliance. Other partners, some of our marketing groups, we have Dayton Communications, Siggy Parker's General Store. I should elaborate on that. That's a gentleman by the name of Danny Potenza, affectionately known as Potsy, who handles our creative design. He's our creative director, does an absolutely spectacular job, and helps bring these stores to life ultimately. I'm going to keep moving through our partners here. Basically, some of our software partners, obviously Dutchie, FlowHub, Leafly, Weedmaps, Trellis. Nothing earth-shattering there, but we've been, for the most part, happy with those partners. And then ultimately, looking at this is sort of the message we want to send today, which is, we'd like to expand that partner footprint, and we'd like to encourage those watching and those taking this presentation in that ultimately we are looking for the right kinds of partners to help accelerate the growth of both brands, both Pinnacle brand as well as any strategic partnerships. We're looking for the right kinds of partners. We've worked very hard to keep our infrastructure clean, our capital structure clean, and now we'd like to expand and leverage our core competencies and partner with some of those groups that are doing it right, not just in Michigan, but other states, and put our retail and our processing arms to work outside of the state of Michigan. So, ultimately our message is you don't have to hide in the basement anymore. Come join us upstairs and enjoy life past prohibition and legal cannabis, and enjoy the type of the vibe and the feel we have in our shops. We are destigmatizing cannabis, all of us collectively destigmatizing cannabis in the United States as well as outside of the United States, and we do that through experiences and education. And ultimately, you're looking at a few pictures of different shops of ours there, and I think that concludes our presentation. And I will come out of screen share mode if that works.
Awesome, Michael. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. This is an exciting time for you, or must be, right? I mean, it sounds like you guys have a lot of momentum, a lot of wind in your sails. There's the website for those of you who are watching, pinnaclecanna.com. So, Michael, you mentioned you're looking for partners. Who's the best fit for you right now, or rather, what is it that you need that you might be looking for partners?
Yeah, so I know maybe we're a little unique on this platform, but we recently did, sign up for a deal that pretty much handles our capital needs and capital structure going forward, at least for the next wave of growth for Pinnacle. But ultimately, we would actually entertain a lot of different things. We feel one of our core competencies is retail. So, a lot of states have vertical licensing and you might have a vertically licensed group that doesn't necessarily have retail as their priority, and we'd be a great group to partner with in that front. We also have a master grower that can cultivate all different types of strains and has the experience coming out of Cali, that we could leverage that as well. But we'd also really like to look more toward sort of an asset light approach in other states where, unlike what we've done in Michigan, where the ground game was super strong and we were running around securing assets and properties and building out retail facilities and cultivation and processing facilities. I'd love to partner with groups that, basically they can license products to us and we can produce them in Michigan, and they can do same for us in other states. And for us, we feel we bring, not just, 5 retail facilities plus, that we can, put products on shelves. So, a partnership in the product production side, you don't even need to deploy a sales team initially. It's let's put the products on our shelves, see how they do, get a cross section of data, and go from there.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm sure any of you brands watching, that may be interested in moving into the Michigan market, very hot market right now. It sounds like Michael and team have availability, right? So keep that in mind. Michael, what's the end game for you? What's the end game? I've talked to a bunch of Michigan folks, especially, but let's widen the focus a bit, right? Who are in your shoes? Is the end game for you creating a long-lasting, retail footprint and brand in this space? Is there a business combination in the future for you? Do you want to? I guess let's stop there. What's the focus for you long term?
Yeah, it's a great question, Patrick, and and anybody in this space knows that every morning is a reset button in this industry. It's so dynamic. You wake up and you're literally shooting at a moving target every single day. So,
Sure.
I mean, today it basically is this: we are in growth and expansion mode. The team I just walked through with, in the presentation, is a tireless and selfless team. We work round the clock, 7 days a week, which I'm sure anybody in this space knows that that's a must if you're going to have success in this space. So ultimately, we'd like to expand our retail footprint. We'd really, really like to get into multiple states on with products, as well as get really accelerate our process in the state with cultivation and processing in Michigan, and potentially partner with groups that give us that larger footprint, make us more attractive for an eventual takeout.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, that brings us to time today, but I'm sure that there are folks that will have questions or maybe even interest. And where should they reach you? Is there something through the website? Is there an email address that they should use?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the website's, always a great way to kind of start, but, we're active on social media at Pinnacle Emporium. Our website is pinnaclecanna.com. But ultimately, my email is probably the best, and it's mike@pinnaclecanna.com. I don't let too many things slip through the cracks. So I do try to respond, and you never know where a lead kind of goes. If there's one thing I've learned in life is don't overlook anything, because you just never know what's going to be on the other side. And ideally, I could tell you, Patrick, that if this space wasn't so much fun, I'd have a better answer for you on the end game. But every day, there's just something else you can do and get creative and have fun in this space.
Yeah, well, listen, I applaud your efforts thus far. It seems like you guys are expanding and rapidly. I mean, even from October to now, you guys have certainly moved the needle. So I look forward to seeing what's next. I'm in Michigan, so I'll have to come by and visit and see what's going on. But it's good to see you.
Please do that. Yes, Patrick, good to see you too. And thanks again. You guys at Benzinga do just a tremendous job. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Dr. Michael Silver, Pinnacle Emporium. Take care, sir.